Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Hey, how about this? We are live. Welcome to Voice of the Land, presented, of course, by the Big Play Network as well as BeOnAir.com. And I'll tell you what, this is not Kevin Arnold. That's me, Double A, Anthony Alfred, in for Kevin Arnold, along with Always Positive Jay.
What's going on, Double A?
This is great and was amazing. So
many
A's, a lot of A's.
A lot of A's.
But then you got a P, you got a J.
Yeah.
You know, that's in there as well. So I'm in for Kevin. Kevin was on Guardians duty.
I know. This is the second time I actually say Kevin's on assignment, and he's legitly on assignment, not on vacation, so we're having fun.
Yeah, Kevin's on assignment. He's on rain postponement assignment.
Yeah, probably just sitting down there doing nothing.
Of course. But in for Kevin, great to be on Voice of the Land, LPV Productions. Of course, definitely subscribe and all of that. But it's great to be on the show today.
Thanks for coming in and filling in for us.
We
need a professional, so we called a couple people. They didn't answer, and they're like, "We'll just get Double A in here."
Yeah,
then.
I was the last one left. I mean, it was either me or I don't know. But right off rip, I would like to say, well, it's a pretty slow sports day. But we got a first place baseball team.
Oh, for sure, and they're staying red hot.
Yeah, it's a first place baseball team. I'll tell you what. I was not positive yesterday because I thought, oh boy, Kansas City put up a good fight, up 5-1. I'm still concerned about Tristan McKenzie.
He's got the stuff. He's just the way he pitches. He throws so many strikes, and then if he leaves a curveball, it's a home run like every single time.
Yeah,
he's like a good pitcher that just gives up the home run ball right now. I hope he gets it together. He's young. He's got the stuff. He just got to get a little better control in that curveball.
See, I'm always of the belief that, I watched McKenzie twice. So Rebecca, my fiance, and I, we went to opening day, and then we saw later in the week, we went to a game against the Yankees, and McKenzie started both of those games. And we saw two very different Tristan McKenzies on those starts. Like, I don't know, maybe he should have got that surgery or not, but as long as he's hanging on by a thread, it'll help. And
he's not that much bigger than a thread, so.
Ain't that the truth?
His nickname's Dr. Sticks. I'm not poking fun at him by any means.
That was the craziest thing. We saw him at the Guardians Fest thing before the season, and
and you root for a guy like Tristan McKenzie. Like, I forget what the name of his organization that he does. He had a whole special on how he works with high school kids and helping them get to like reaching their goals in life and just getting them on the right path. And he's just such a good person. Yeah. So I just hope nothing but the best for him. It's hard for me to give him any shellac, to be honest with you.
So Kansas City's up 5-1.
Yeah, I as everyone knows, I don't have Bally's. I don't get to watch the games.
I don't either.
I get to watch it on my phone, usually the ESPN app, where I see the
even though they're using it like this.
Oh.
Which we'll get to in a little bit. But I don't have it either. But going to the ballpark, you get to see the games, and then you listen to the games on the radio. You hear.
Well, which is really nice now. I don't know if everyone has the TuneIn app. You can listen to the games now on the TuneIn app, which you didn't get to listen to before. So that's awesome for me, because when you got Hammy on the call, I don't need the TV. Sorry, Bally's.
That is true.
Like, if you're not going to give me on streaming, then I'm just going to listen to Hammy, and I'm really not missing a beat. Plus, I get to do things around the house while listening to the game. So, the future wifey's happy with me with that one. But, yeah, I look, I'm like 5-0. I'm like, oh, man. Like, all right, it's early. And then they literally see the video of the coach talking about, we're going to come back. We got fighting us. And then, boom, it happens, dude. And who is it? Naylor starts us off really good. I think we had one run. It was 5-1. Naylor hits a 2-run hit shot. Now we're only down by 3. Tyler Freeman gets up. Boom, nails another home run. Now we're tied. And then the craziest play I've seen all year so far. Like, of all the players, Bobby Witt Jr., who is a phenom, gets beat out by Naylor because of pure hustle, which his team is just, that's that Tito mentality.
Right.
Like, You got Josh Naylor, who has had leg problems and surgeries, busting his ass to second base, and he beats a guy who's one of the fastest people in baseball. Like, he is super fast, and he beat him to second, which allowed, because he had to play at second. Like, there was he challenged him, so he was awarded second there, and then he misthrows it. All the bases clear, because then Naylor gets to go from second. He's awarded the 2 bases to go home, and the other guy gets the double. This team just doesn't quit, man.
It's amazing. And it's amazing how this team has elevated. You know, Tito has set the foundation for this team. And it's a great foundation. And again, I'm not saying that – Terry Francona would say himself, the one regret that he had was not bringing a world championship to Cleveland. And that was probably his one regret. But all the little things, the stealing bases, the little fundamental, the fielding, everything that they do. And Stephen Vogt has been able to build on the legacy that Terry Francona has built.
I hope this gets to Terry Francona. We got to make this go viral. If we win a championship, Terry Francona won a championship too, because like you just said, the foundation he's put, and how we've been saying, like, how we love how Stephen Vogt just, like, he's got it all together. I'm just tweaking a little thing here and tweaking a little thing here, a little bit here. He's not trying to do a complete overhaul on this team, because it was already had a great team going. And they just seem like they're having so much more fun this year. And I heard, why can I not think of his name right now? He's Kevin's co-host on his podcast.
You heard Andre?
Andre Knott, yes, yeah. Thank you. And he was talking about how this team was, I think it was hard for them last year because they knew it was Francona's last year, and they were pressing so hard to let him go out on top. They wanted to win a championship and get in the playoffs with him on his last ride, and that's why he didn't want to make it about himself. He didn't want it to bring it up or nothing. But now he's gone, and that's gone.
Yeah.
And now they're playing free and young and hard and hustling and hitting home runs now, and it's just a lot of fun.
We were told, a lot of baseball people told us that this team was built for 2025. That coming into the season, hey, this might be just a rebuilding year. Pitching staff's not going to really hold up, too much. I'm still a little curious about how much they'll hold up. There's Shane Bieber. Bieber has his best start, and then he's out for the season. All of those things happen, and then all of a sudden, you look, they're in first place. But then what? Cleveland goes on that 9-game win streak a couple weeks ago, and right behind them, Kansas City.
Yeah, they wouldn't go away. But they just recently did go on a little losing streak, thank God. They're like, all right, give us a little breathing room.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're still Kansas City, like, back it up, get in your place, know your role. I just can't believe, like, if I told you at the beginning of the year, AA, before, after 3 weeks, Bieber's out for the season, what do you think this team's going to do?
That's it.
I mean, there's a before and after picture I posted. Me and Kevin and Peter, we did a show at the Greenish Card Show.
Mm-hmm.
And we were up on stage. We were talking to, Bob?
I think you guys were talking to Curtis Danberg.
Yeah,
because our show.
I'm the worst with names, by the way.
Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. You can follow that. We followed you guys a little bit after.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
you guys
we're talking to him, and I'm literally saying oh, we have Bieber, so if things ever go wrong, you got the Cy Young guy. He'll come in and reset it and get your team going back on track. He's off to an amazing start. Looks better than ever. And we're all smiles, and there's just a picture, and we're all laughing. As we get from that stage, we walk down, we talk to Curtis for a little bit, and then we walk over to our table. From that point to the table, our phones get alerts. Bieber out for the year. We're just like,
I thought it was a joke.
Oh, we're so then someone takes a picture, and you just see mine and Kevin's face are just so disheveled. We're like, I'm like, wow, look at this is 5 minutes from each other, smiles and giggles and laughs to just despair. But look where we're at, and we're led by offense.
Right.
And just everyone's worried about the bullpen, and the bullpen is the best in the league. Class A is giving up one run.
I'm jealous of you and Pete, and others, because I hear all the time about the greatness of the 95 Cleveland Indians.
Oh, yes.
how awesome the 1995 Cleveland Indians.
So you're like
team
Kevin
was.
didn't get to watch him that much?
I was 3 years old. I didn't get a chance to really watch the 95 Cleveland Indians baseball team. They had so much offense. The Indians teams I grew up with, 2-1 baseball games, pitching clinics. And I'm appreciative of the pitching that we have had over the years. But it feels so good to finally have phenomenal offense.
Yes.
To have hitting, to have home runs, to have runs being driven in, excitement, things that guys like me who have short attention spans love.
So I don't know how often you stay on social media, but my buddy Danny Cunningham, I gotta call you out, man. He retweeted something and he's like, "Oh, this is fascinating." And some dude was talking about how they changed the outfield from when they had those little those boxes up in the bleachers, and now it's open. They're like, now the wind's not bouncing off and coming back and knocking the balls down. I'm like, guys, wind doesn't bounce. Like, I don't know. The wind flow don't work like that. It goes around stuff. I'm like, and I think it was a troll job by whoever did this, and he got the Cleveland fans bad. I was like, man,
You're
right. All our offense is due to the remake of the stadium.
Look, I'll say this. You have a point. I see what Danny was trying to go for. I do think...
No, it wasn't Danny's tweet.
Okay,
he just quote tweeted whoever made the video.
I was to say this. I do think, being at a few baseball games this year, I think it's been 5 or 6 baseball games at this point this year. Opening up that right field over there does make a little difference.
Does it create a wind tunnel?
I don't know about a wind tunnel.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming. It's a wind tunnel.
But they were saying before. There is a noticeable
it goes through there now, they're saying.
You could drive the ball out there now.
We'll see.
Look, I was just saying this, first of all, for a fan, not having those gallons out there, whatever they are, helps with the airflow of the ballpark. I will give them that. It does help with the airflow of the ballpark. You notice if you're in the 500s. You do notice in the 500s. I'm not going to go all science here with you because you're talking to a guy who once cheated off of one of my best friends on a chemistry test once, and we both got the same grade. We succeeded in cheating, and we had the same grade. It was a 48.3% failing grade. It was bad. Our chemistry teacher brought us in. She's like, look.
You don't have to reveal this on the show if you don't want to.
It's too late. It's so bad, I might as well share it.
You're just discrediting yourself.
The teacher brought us in. I'll never forget this. She looks at us. She's like, Anthony, Tim, she's like, I should write you both up for cheating, but I think you already learned your lesson. You both failed the test anyway. There's really nothing else we could do.
Cheated off a guy who didn't even know what he was doing.
The theory was we both didn't know much, but we figured if I know question 1, you know question 2. And then I know question 3. We both don't know question 4, but you should know question 5. It turned out I didn't know questions 1 through 6, and he didn't know questions 5 through 12.
Nice.
But we got question 13 correct. And that was our thing.
The point was, all I know is this guy was saying the wind is literally hitting those things last year and coming backwards, and it was knocking the balls back down. I'm like, no. Wind flow doesn't work like that. Is it get a little bit better through there? Sure. But it's always going to go through there. It goes up, it goes around. Anywhere there's a hole, the wind's going to find it. It keeps going the same way. It doesn't just hit and bounce the other way.
The amazing thing is if it does change the wind, it changes it for both teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
Break it down science.
Yeah.
And then sign up.
Sports science, we're bringing it back.
Can I bet you one thing before we break?
No.
Well, I'll do it anyway.
All right.
So I have to imagine that.
By the way, you ask me anything, I'm probably just going to say no.
I watched the show enough.
All right.
I know what Kevin goes through in this seat. I know what Kevin. What happens a little bit. I want to mention one thing. and I think you and Pete will both get a kick out of this. So we both mentioned we don't have Bally's, right? Pete, do you have Bally's?
Not technically.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll go with that. So
With an
you imagine
evil little grin on his face as
So,
he says that. That
I
you
only
won't
want
see.
to only want to bring this up because I don't get to talk sports, like
Mhm.
general sports, that often anymore. You imagine the owners in the 60s, from the 60s and 70s, they are rolling in their grave right now because they wanted all of these blackouts, right? They thought that television and showing all the games on television would all of a sudden kill attendance. As somebody who doesn't have Bally's, I have to listen to the radio to, keep up with the team and watch the highlights and then go to the games. It's pretty amazing that the Cleveland Guardians are only behind the Baltimore Orioles at this point is in terms of year-to-year attendance improvement, I believe plus 26.4% in attendance increase. Second highest in baseball. It's pretty amazing, and partly because, they're in first place.
Consistent winning will do that.
Consistent winning, and you may not be able to watch them on television.
Then, like you said, we were talking about, they're making that stadium for what the crowd wants. Like this new group of people coming up, they can't sit through and watch a game, and they're not going to bring the scoreboard and write down the score and all that stuff. No, they're on their phones. They want to be socialized, and they want to be at the bar, and then go watch a little bit of the game some more. They're more mobile. They don't have the attention span. So
I'm a standing room only guy if I'm there with a crowd, and we was there last Saturday, and half the game we're in a circle conversating while the game's going on. Like the game's the background, but we're enjoying it. It's a great time. It's a great sport to go to a ball game.
So next time you go, just call me and be like, hey, I'm going to the game, getting standing room. If you want to join us, I'll be like, oh my God, I got a friend that's invited me somewhere.
Let's take a break. We come back. We got major Browns news. We also got some other things going on too.
I do want to talk a little Guardians on what we want to see them do.
Yeah.
Before the trade deadline ends.
Yeah, we'll get to that, of course, when we come back. Of course, always positive, Jay. I'm Double A Anthony Alford in for Kevin Arnold. This is.
We got to shout out our boy Peter.
Pete's here too, doing big things.
Peter Telef, the man, the myth, the legend.
This is Voice of the Land.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back. Voice of the Land, Double A Anthony Alford in for Kevin Arnold. Always positive, Jay, alongside. Again, we're brought to you by the Big Play Network and the Beyond Air Networks. Now, before we get to, we got a bunch of other stuff to roll through here. Major Browns news with the extension. We got a little bit of Caitlin Clark. Since the finals start tomorrow, I do want to roll in a pick, too, for the finals.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit shorter show. The AC in this place is not working, and it is hot as hell in here.
He's been here for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm doing it for you guys, man. I'm doing it for you guys.
You mentioned before the break what you would like to see the Guardians do going forward, too. But first off, do you believe that the Guardians obviously are
I think
buyers?
Yes, I do. And I expect them to get a starting pitcher, if not two, maybe a fifth guy, someone to throw in. I'm dreaming. It is my dream. Please make this happen. Bo Bichette, shortstop.
I've heard great things.
Come to Cleveland. Please. I need you. You will complete this lineup. It will look like the lineups you didn't get to see back in the 90s. Like,
yes.
It's nearly unstoppable. And nothing against the guys we have at shortstop. If we don't get them, I hope they turn around. I hope if we do trade them, they go and proceed on to have great careers. I'm not going to slam our team. As long as you're trying your hardest, like I said, I always say, all I can ask of someone is to give it their all. And if they're giving it their all, I'll live with whatever you get. If you're a former Browns receiver that dances during practice and doesn't try hard, we won't mention no names. I'm going to give it to you. Who do you want to see them take? And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know. I like what you said there. You know, I've been hearing great things there. And look, we're 2 months in. We're seeing offense from the Guardians. So if we could even boost that offense even more, I do think as well. And, you know, I saw some reports too. Jeff Passan has something up as well. Maybe a low-end starter on the pitching rotation. Because I am concerned, can Tristan make it through the season?
Yes.
I don't know. And honestly, I'm not confident.
And we can't bank on Galvin Williams coming back and being good for the rest of the season either.
Right. Like, what's his progress? You know, and again, and we all know this, and everyone who watches the show, and obviously I'm a big fan of the show, when you come back from injury, just because you're back doesn't mean you're really back. You know, so, you know,
unless you're Stephen Kwan.
Unless you're Stephen Kwan.
Then you're just a freak of nature.
Man, can I mention one other baseball point here
Go ahead.
before we move on? Did you see the Lake County Captains the other day? Did you hear what happened with the Captains? The Captains, the Lake County Captains a couple days ago scored 10 runs in the first inning.
Wow.
In the first inning. 10 runs.
Nice. That's a big first inning there. I don't know what the record is.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know we got some young talent. Like, we've always had amazing farm systems, though.
What if I told you the Captains lost? I'm kidding. They won the game.
I'm
like, pretty sure they won.
Like, man, how you going to bring that up?
It's just amazing, though. 10 runs in the first. To do that at any level of baseball is just crazy. Of course, you know, the college baseball tournament is going on right now as well. So it's an exciting time. You're a baseball fan. It is an exciting time. Definitely, even if you're not a baseball fan, you got some buddies or whatnot, family, get down to Progressive Field.
You'll have fun down there. You don't have to be, like you said, a baseball fan.
Yeah.
They make it so anyone can go there. The food, man.
The food.
They have, without a doubt, the best food of any stadium in this city.
Yeah. The food is just great. And look, Commissioner Rob Manfred, he is far from perfect. Far from it.
You know what? I think that dude is doing way better than Bud Selig ever did. At least he's trying and made some great changes.
I'll tell you what, them quicker games are getting more people to the ballpark.
Yeah, they are.
They're getting more people to the ballpark. I will give them that. All right.
The big news of the day that we all knew that was eventually coming, but it finally dropped.
So always positive, Jay. We're texting. We're prepping for today's show, and he sends me something. I respond back. He's like, "Nope, wrong person.
No, totally.
That was meant to go to Riz."
Yeah, because they were asking about Catwoman. You're like, what is her role? Like, what is she a good guy, bad guy? Or does she just become Batgirl? I'm like, no, she's an anti-villain.
And then I responded, and then he was like, well, wrong person. And then it's like, I meant to text Riz. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wait. I have a theory. Do you call him Anthony on your phone?
No.
Because I thought, maybe, there, you don't have to
wonder
prove it to me.
No, I just want to actually see what I saved him. I think I just have him under Tony.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. All right.
I just got his full name.
Stefanski, Andrew Berry, contract extension. I just find it funny because for years I screened a ton of phone calls calling for Kevin Stefanski's job. I screened a bunch of phone calls calling for Andrew Berry's job. And their contracts are extended.
I want to know when's the last time a Browns coach or GM was extended, because I honestly don't remember, because since 99. Am I correct? I don't think we ever read anyone up after 99. And Belichick was his first contract. He was gone. Before that would have been, is that Schottenheimer? Did he get, how long was he here for? Because this is when I was young now.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, it was a long time.
So I heard somebody joke that it was since the Bush administration.
It may have been.
But which one?
Definitely his first
But it
one.
was
It was definitely the first.
Yeah.
Bush, yeah.
Because I was trying to think that Phil Savage get an extension. I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
No. So yeah, Bush won. So yeah. So
That's crazy.
Well, we know it wasn't Hugh Jackson.
No.
what are you talking about? Hugh Jackson invented football.
Hugh Jackson did survive longer than he should have, but I'm pretty sure he didn't get no extensions whatsoever.
I'll give Hugh Jackson credit for one thing. He was one of the main characters in probably the greatest season of Hard Knocks
the only good season
HBO
of
has
Hard
ever
Knocks.
produced.
The only good season.
Yeah. If Hard Knocks just want to replay the Baker Mayfield season, they could do that. Nothing will
I've never
top.
watched the show in my life. I've only seen the highlights of all the billion highlights we had posted when that was on there, and him. Oh my God, him driving the bus was probably the funniest thing.
Oh Lord.
I mean, we all love Jarvis's speech, but him driving the bus speech and end up proving our next head coach, Freddie Kitchens, right.
Right.
Well, so going back here, Romeo Crennel was 2005 to 8, so I don't think that was any extension there.
He didn't get one.
Butch Davis was 01 to 04.
He quit because of some reason. I don't know why.
Belichick was here from 91 to 95. And, but Schottenheimer was here for 4 years.
But those might have been shorter contracts, though, back then.
Maybe. So Marty,
I bet he signed a 4-year deal, and he was done because he wasn't winning the championship, which was stupid. But
yeah, I'm trying. There doesn't really say if they were continued, but Sam Rutigliano was the longest.
Oh man.
so it was probably Sam Rutigliano.
That would have been the Reagan administration.
Yeah, Reagan. That would have been that. We did science. We did social studies. All right, let's talk
The
math.
trickle down did not work for the Browns, clearly.
Top down, bottom up. I don't know if it played out. I don't know what happened.
It did not trickle down to the Browns whatsoever.
Let me get this in quick, though.
All right.
Let me get this in because I know you have some thoughts on this, too. This Caitlin Clark situation, first of all, none of this has anything to do as far as criticisms towards Caitlin Clark. She's 22 years old, just trying to hoop. Okay? She's just trying. I find it very amazing how the story has been sports media learning how to cover WNBA, Caitlin Clark, women's sports. I just find it to be amazing that that's the story as opposed to what is actually going on the floor.
I'm not surprised. That's all I can say. I am not surprised whatsoever. I think this whole thing has made a way bigger deal. I feel bad for her. I bet she just wants to play basketball and not be the center of attention, but at the same time embracing the position that she's put in. And she is bringing eyes to the sport big time. The numbers are proving it. Their attendance prove it wherever she goes. If these girls have a jealousy issue, then that's on them. I don't think that's really it all the time. I think it's more she's a rookie. Ask all those girls that when they were those high picks, how did the girls that were there before them treat them? They roughed them up a little bit, welcome to the league. They're tough. These girls aren't what you call the girly girls that are, you know what I'm saying? They're tough, man. They have
been
a
that way
physical style of game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the name of the game. I don't know what else to tell you.
And it's been that way for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I just find it. I just
because
find
no one knows.
Yeah, nobody knows. But you have a star now.
That's why I didn't know. Know who I listened to? The girls that played in the league.
Yeah.
That's who I listened to. The former players.
Yeah,
I'll listen to them. I don't need to listen to all these talking heads that probably didn't watch the sport because you know what? I ain't gonna lie, I didn't watch it. The other day I was watching her play. I could definitely caught myself.
And I think that's the thing. I think that's the. We're embarrassed to say we didn't watch the WNBA before Caitlin Clark. We didn't watch the WNBA before Caitlin Clark. In between. Okay, Candace Parker.
No, it's funny. She's not even my favorite girl player right now. I'm a Juju Watkins girl.
There you go. There you go.
I think she's going to be a beast in the WNBA because she's tough. She's built to play the game. And the one thing I've learned from watching is they are so much more fundamentally sound.
Yeah,
they play a style of basketball that everyone else can really play.
Yeah.
let's just be real. The common dude cannot dunk a basketball. I was at my peak of my like athleticism. I was like able to do it, but not in the like. I'd have to have a breakaway, and if I did it 5 times, I'd get 1. So we're just better off doing the layup. You know what I mean? And I always tell everyone, like, if you got kids, make them watch that game, not the the NBA so much, or watch both, but make them watch the WNBA because they are so fundamentally sound. They move the ball. The ball moves faster than anyone else can, and it's entertaining.
And
man.
in order to win, you have to actually run an offense.
Mhm.
You got to actually run an offense, and actually discuss the storylines. And I think the last point here, if you people, well, how do you actually cover? How do you talk about it? You talk about the game. You just talk about the story. Talk about what you see. You don't need to say put aside this is women's sports.
She was roughed up. This and this. It was a physical game.
You don't need to do all that. It's just I watched the game. This is what I see. This is what I think of what happens. This player needs to play better. This team needs to play better. Nobody mentions that Caitlin Clark kind of led to everything that happened, with that whole, that whole hard foul. She was talking smack beforehand. When you talk smack,
now
that's what's going to happen.
Let's be real. That play was a non-basketball play. Was it a cheap shot? Sure. But guess what? They happen all the time. It's a physical game. When you play physical games and you're constantly going, there's emotions high. Guess what? Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And some dudes, like we were talking earlier, would call it assault. I'm like, please, dude, that is not is it technically by definition assault? Sure. But everyone associates assault with the charge. That's what that word's used for generally. Am I correct?
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, no, it's just a cheap shot. They happen. It wasn't even horrifically terrible cheap shot. It was a boom, screw you, want to talk smack, or whatever. You elbowed my friend earlier. That's all it was.
And what did I tell you before the show about that? I said, fans want 80s NBA basketball back.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't handle what's going on right now in the WNBA with the physicality there. But you're supposed to want Bill Laimbeer style basketball back. Stop it. Stop.
Yeah, it's just getting out of control. They just need to let them play. And like you said, just report the game.
Yeah.
Because the game's good enough to just report on. You don't need to make a whole drama story. Not everything has to be this big negative drama story to draw eyes.
Yeah.
Skill will draw eyes. It's been doing it for years before the billion talking heads out there just trying to take fabricated hot takes up all the time, which drives us crazy on this show. We try, if we have a hot take, we always say it is genuine. We're going against the grain today. You know what I'm saying? But that's how we feel, really. We're not just making it up like 90% of people on these national shows and stuff now. And it's just like, dude, do you even watch the games?
That is true. Last day before we go, because we are dripping.
Yes, it's definitely hot.
We are. Your glasses is fogging up.
My eyes are really annoyed right now because I've taken out my contacts yesterday. And the sweat around my eyes is building up. It's like, it's lovely.
Always positive. Jay's going through it right now. He's going through it.
The struggle is real.
NBA finals start tomorrow. Yes, the NBA season's still going on. They've been off for like 3 months now. Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics. Who you got in the series? How much have you paid attention to the?
Actually, I've been watching a lot.
Okay, good.
Because I turned on my cable and because I wanted to watch the Cavs in the playoffs, and I just kept it on because I'm like, all right, these have been really good, actually, especially the Western Conference.
Yeah.
The Celtics. I got the Dallas.
I wish that Minnesota series went a little longer, but
yeah, I think Dallas is more tested throughout the playoffs. The Celtics definitely got one of the easiest runs I've ever seen to the championship game. Did they play tough teams? Yeah, but all their stars were out. Like every team they played, their stars were out. So, and I just hate Boston. So screw you, Boston.
I don't like them either. I'm not a fan of Boston at all.
Are you rooting for? The big topic today was, are you rooting for Kyrie? And what I was going to say, and I didn't call into a show, I was going to be like, I'm rooting for him to continue his image cleanup. I hope the Mavericks win, and I hope he continues to improve his image. Am I rooting for him? I'm still a little bitter. I'm not going to lie. He ruined. I thought we would have a dynasty, but at the same time, he was young, and just crap happens.
I don't think he ruined it. I think Kevin Durant ruined it.
he helped. He definitely helped. I'm saying like our team,
I got you.
he helped. He was a huge part of dismantling. And at the same time, we hear so many different stories now coming in and out on who actually was saying this and who wanted this guy out for this guy.
LeBron, LeBron or today or yesterday, LeBron's like, man, I get mad at myself because, he was I wish he was my sidekick today. I wish I could still work with him. Like, that could have happened if you would have signed an extension here. You did that.
He helped. That's the thing. Like, he definitely helped. I think Cavs, Kyrie, and the LeBron are all culprits of ruining.
Well, we've got Kevin blowing up the Twitter comments.
Oh yeah, what does Kevin want to know?
Let's see. He said former players aren't the people to listen to. The WNBA is physical, but there are more dirty plays nowadays because they are petty and don't realize what Clark is doing for them. And he said those plays don't happen all the time, and it's Draymond Green level bad. So
Draymond Green level bad.
I don't know.
That is a high level, Kevin.
There is something to be said about that. There is something to be said because that's another element. There are some women in there. There are some players that are like, wait a minute, we've been here this whole time. You just coming in here. First of all, Indiana, you only have 2 wins. You only have 2 wins. Like, you're not going to the playoffs. You're not a contender or anything of sorts. Who are you to come in here and
wait a second,
talk this game?
We have a show where me and Kevin completely feel probably opposites, and he's not here today.
Yep. Well, he said that Clark doesn't complain either. She
doesn't. I gave her that.
Yeah, and
is she getting beat up? Yeah,
and they're trying to make a name for themselves by taking it out on her. So
hold up. What did he say about Clark? She doesn't complain?
Clark doesn't complain either, but she is the one being hurt by these conversations.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree. I don't think Clark is complaining in terms of, we need to change the rules and stuff, but she is talking on the floor.
She's always been a talker.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a known instigator. That is a known fact. She's one of but trash talking goes on in every sport. There's always been that. Jordan got it.
Yeah. But I think if you're trash talking,
see, that's the thing. Like,
if you're trash talking, then the other players got to right. They're going to come back. They're going to clap back.
Yeah, but there's a difference between clapping back and
you might have to come back next week when
checks,
Kevin's here, and we're going to have to discuss this Caitlin Clark situation.
You
I need to do more research because I'm not trying to
say
I'm a WNBA expert by any means.
No, here's the thing. I don't have the WNBA like season pass, but I've seen enough of her games in college. I've seen a couple games here. I mean, hell, every game
Thanks,
of hers
Kevin.
is on television.
We're almost out the door.
You know what? Thanks to Kevin, we're going to take a commercial break.
No, we're actually done.
All right. Well, you guys got something to chew on for next week.
Yes.
Let me just say this. I think with the finals, this finals could go either way. I don't like Boston, but I do think Boston has an equal opportunity to win this series. I am personally rooting for Kyrie. I love the backcourt, but Porzingis is back. We'll see how much he's going to be able to work back in, but he will play in game 1. I hate to say this. I hope I'm wrong. I have the Celtics in 6.
I hope you're wrong, too.
I know.
I do like the shirt, though, so
Thank you.
You got something right.
Thank you. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it for Voice of the Land. Want to thank Pete, for producing all this and making all this happen.
So we call him Audio Man. He's like basically an AI system for us and you.
Well, thank you.
And plug your show, man. Go ahead.
Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. New show will be out tomorrow morning. Definitely tune in, subscribe. We have our own YouTube.
It's a nice short show this week because they were also glistening over here. The sweat, I was sitting in front of the fan. I'm like, man, that looks miserable over there.
Oh, man. Dude, you're going to see tomorrow. I am dripping. Yeah. I am dripping. I should have just walked off at some point like, hey, we got a bathroom across the studio. But anywho, want to thank Kevin, of course, for allowing me and always Sponsor Jay. You guys allowed me to
thank Kevin for his comment and getting us all
fill
we're
in.
ready to go, and he's not here to debate with us. That's why I don't want to. I don't want to get into it that hard because I want him to
That's-
be able to kick back at
That's
this.
Kevin's specialty.
Yeah.
Just when you wrap it up.
Boom. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going.
I'm Double A Anthony Alfred again. Thank you for watching Voice of the Land. Tune in every week, 8:00, right here, 8:00 every Wednesday night. Tune in live or tune in on the replay as well. Again, we're brought to you by the Big Play Network and BeOnAir.com. We'll talk to you, Kevin, and Always Positive Jay, and Pete. We'll talk to you guys next week.